forearms. John Baker can swing the bat. Cody Ross in center field, he's got pop. Brett Carroll hit a home run in the first ball game. He's got pop. And Nate Robertson, our Southwest batting order. First pitch brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Text keyword pizza followed by a space and your name to 95323 to receive your Domino's special offer and to be entered to win a pizza party for 15. One weekly winner will be chosen. So here we go. Aaron Cook to take on the Marlins, and in his career the Marlins have had a lot of success against Aaron. Cookie's career ERA, George, above 6.
It has been above 6.
Marlins.
Yep, he's had some troubles with their ball club. Again, 2-3, 683 earned run average, making his 6th start against them. It's a line drive to the left.
And a good jump by Carlos Gonzalez. So on the second pitch, Coghlan is retired. As we take a look at the scouting report on Aaron Cook in his 9th big league season now.
Well, you look at the fastball at 86-91. In his last start, it was more 85-89. He needs to find the velocity back along with that sink. The changeup 77-81. Curve and slider mix. But more importantly, finding the consistency in the ground ball outs on the hard sinker.
And that pitch misses to Wes Helms. Wes Helms is a pro. He is probably their most vocal leader in the clubhouse. The senior statesman, if you will. Doesn't get a ton of at-bats. Kind of a pinch hitter and defensive replacement late in ball games, but very, very well respected in that Florida clubhouse. Here's the 1-1 on Helms. North Carolina native. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit. And Helms doesn't have a ton of at-bats, George, but he's making the most of them.
Yeah, 429 average when he came in. 3 RBIs, most of that damage being done as a pinch hitter.
Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. Carlos Gonzalez, who started at center field in the afternoon affairs in left. Dexter Fowler had a pinch hitting appearance late. Ryan Spilborghs entered the ballgame when Hop went down again with that quad injury. Stewart, Tulowitzki, Melvin Moore, Jason Giambi on the right side. And Miguel Olivo is doing the catching. Chris Iannetta caught the afternoon affair. So here is Hanley Ramirez. He led the National League in hitting last year at .342. He is a whopper of a talent, George. This kid is unbelievable.
Yeah, and you look at him 5 or 6 years ago, a skinny kid that could run, he could steal some bases, and all of a sudden he's become a man. He's now had power in his bat. Home run, 6 RBIs on the season, and on base percentage of over 400.
He's off to a solid start this year. Ground ball comeback. Cook good feed to Tulowitzki, and that is a double play. Good start for Aaron Cook. A 1-6-3 turn. Cook will march off the hill, and we'll see the Rockies on offense when we come back. base hit to Wes Helms. He was erased on the Hanley Ramirez 1-6-3 double play. That, of course, is Carlos Gonzalez. He's off to a marvelous start. He had the collar, as several did in that first game. Ricky Nolasco held him down. 0-for-4 for Cargo. Dexter Fowler in the 2-hole. Troy Tulowitzki slides up to where Helton normally hits. Todd started that first ball game, a couple of hits and a walk. Giambi 7-for-13 with a bomb lifetime left on left against Nate Robertson. Melvin Mora hits behind Giambi. Then Miguel Olivo, he's got 3 home runs already. Ian Stewart, Ryan Spilbords, and Aaron Cook. All of that brought to you by Southwest.com. So here we go. And the first pitch of the ball game is fouled off. Carlos Gonzalez, not your prototypical leadoff hitter because he doesn't walk a ton. In fact, he hasn't walked yet in 2010, but he may get you off to a 1-0 start.
Well, that's the key to it. I mean, he has the ability to get on base, and whether he walks a lot or not, he gets on to first a lot, and sometimes he starts the inning off standing out at second base with a double. Right now, 3 doubles on the season for Cargo out of those 18 hits.
We're talking about it at the top of the broadcast. This Florida team kind of flies beneath the radar. But a year ago, they went 87-75. They're just 6 games behind the Phillies in the division for Freddie Gonzalez. They do it with a very low payroll. You have 2 studs at the top of the rotation. George alluded to Josh Johnson, one of the hardest throwers of the ball in the game. Ricky Nolasco, who tossed a gem this afternoon. Don't forget you have Anibal Sanchez in that rotation. George, he threw a no-hitter a few years ago.
Yes, he did throw a no-hitter. Miguel Olivo caught that no-hitter. He did your ball though he knows. Let's take a look at the scatter report on Mr. Robertson. Fastball 85-90 typically. The slider and curve mixed with a different type of break. A little flatter with more velocity on the slider. A big 12-6 the other way. Changeup 79-81. His out pitch has been the change slider mix that he will use, particularly against right-handed bats. What a start he is off to. 2-0 with a 216 earned run average.
And this ball is smothered to center field. And it'll be over the head and over the fence on one hop. Cody Ross had no shot. And Dexter Fowler has a 1-out double. Well, you were hoping it nicked the top of the fence, George, and then flew back over his head because Dexter was halfway to third already.
Well, that's what you were hoping for because of the distance and the travel. And really, Cody Ross playing very shallow in center field was going to have a way to go. Inside fastball. First offering out over that 415 mark. You could see it bounce and then went up into the ceiling. And the only reason this hurts is because now you got 1 out and the heart of your RBI guys coming up and a runner on third base.
Tulowitzki steps in, a couple of knocks in that first game for Troy. He's got the average to 290.
And interesting, too, to watch the defensive alignment because what you're seeing is that Uggla, see how tight he is out at second on Dexter Fowler. And the reason behind that, just what we're talking about, 1 out, runner at third, fly ball, meat of the order. Try to drive in runs. They'll try to tighten him up at second. Prevent that, and the fact also.
Dexter takes off for third. Baker's throw goes into left field. Here comes Dexter, and it's 1-0 Colorado.
And the speed's a wonderful thing. You hurry up an awful lot of things, and Baker hurried his throw and ended up in left field.
We often point this out, George. Hard to steal against the lefty when you're on first, but when you get to second, it becomes a little easier.
Well, there's no question. Second error of the year on Baker. This is just a horrible time to come up throwing high, and he sure did. Hitter had nothing to do with it. That was just a bad throw. Didn't get a good grip on it. Into the outfield, 1-0 Rockies.
Stolen base. And an E2 if you score with us at home. And if I remember the results from our Break Plus poll the other day, I think 27% score with us at home.
Surprisingly, too, for Fowler, his second stolen base of the season for Dexter. He hasn't been caught. By the way, the opposition now just 3 for 15 against Robertson with men in scoring position.
This could be a problem. What a pickup by Ramirez.
We're going to see two of the finest shortstops in the game with two of the whiskey and the range and the arm strength that they show. And this young man, Hanley Ramirez, you're going to see him go right over a high hopper over the top of the mound. And just get to the baseball, not really cheating that much up front. He just gets a great break on the ball and allows him to get there and stay down on the ball and then a snap throw to first.
But the short hop was really impressive.
You know what? To be honest, I think he just got lucky with the hop because he really wasn't down on the baseball like you typically would see again.
Here's Giambi with the great numbers against Robertson. Robertson says, you know what? You're not going to swing the bat. Giambi gets hit with a changeup. Defensively, Chris Coughlin in left. Cody Roth, very good defender at center. Brett Carroll's got a big arm. He's in right field. Helms at third. Ramirez at short. Ugla at second. Jorge Cantu plays both corners. He's at first. And John Baker is behind the plate. Up Melvin Mora. Mora swung the bat well late on that trip, George, in Washington.
Swung it extremely well there, and it really took the ball to the opposite field. Big hole on the right side with Giambi at first.
Oh, and 1 on Mora. He's seen Robertson a bunch from his American League days. It's 0-2. He wants a home run against Nate Robertson as we take a look at our Suzuki keys to the game. George?
Well, quickly, obviously we've seen a ton of left-handed starters the Rockies have this year, and they've been pretty successful against them. The defense will play a role as it did early in the first inning with Cook on the mound. You hope that good hard sinker's working for Aaron Cook as it was in the first inning to get the double play ball.
And 2. Robertson hasn't pitched at Coors Field since 2005.
You mentioned he came back to the Marlins in a cash pickup along with a left-hander from the Detroit Tigers this year. Originally a 5th-round pick in 1999. John Ruff was the scout that signed him. 53 and 69 overall in his career. 1 and 2 in postseason in 2006 with Detroit. He beat Oakland in the playoffs in the second round. Lost to St. Louis in his one start in the World Series.
2-2. Rocky saw him last year in the Motor City. Robertson, George, was working out of the pen at that point. You see the career numbers. And this ball is hit to the gap in right center field. Giambi is on his horse. And he is going to get a green light. Richie Dower trying to push him towards the plate. The ball was dropped by Ugla. Giambi safe at the plate. And Mora to third with a triple. Melvin Mora got a couple of starts in the Washington series. Went 4 for 8 and hit the ball very hard. And he comes home and has a run-scoring triple here in the opening frame.
Well, it's all about not trying to do too much with the baseball. And Robertson's typically not a guy that's going to come inside hard on right-handed bats. He'll show it, but not for a strike. He typically likes to stay away from him. And here again, this is not a bad pitch down and away on a Hyundai cam. You could see about knee-high and away, and Mora just stayed right on the pitch and drove it into right center field.
Let's see if Miguel Olivo can pick up that 2-out RBI also. 2-0 Colorado. RBI for Melvin Mora, number 696 of his career. And this ball is hit in the air to right field. Brett Carroll puts his hand out and make the catch. So a nice start offensively for the Rockies. Aaron Cook has been staked to a 2-0 lead. Shutting down runners this year. The Rockies also had a big third inning in Washington, scoring 8 runs on Tuesday night. Ryan Spilborghs with a 2-run home run, and Jorge De La Rosa drove in 3. Let's Plays of the Week brought to you by Amco AA MCO. Jorge Cantu. It's a fly ball foul and out of play down the right field line. As we go to the top of the second inning, Drew Goodman, George Frazier. Alana Rizzo is around the ballpark as well. We'll check in with Alana in a moment. So 21-game hitting streak for Jorge Cantu. He was almost out of the game, George, a couple years ago. And in the last 2 years, since resurrecting his career in Florida, he's driven in 195 runs. Is that any good?
Given the opportunity to hit in the 4-hole, given an opportunity to have success and feel a part of something, and obviously he's rewarded this organization. 294 right now, 19 RBIs. He's up there with another guy named, what's that first baseman's name? Pujols?
I think that's what he goes by.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Cook working ahead 0-2. And you know what, George? If you notice the early pattern, even 0-2, sinker after sinker.
Well, why not? I mean, that's been his bread and butter pitch for over 9.5, 10 years in the big leagues, and that's something that Jim Tracy would like to see a consistency of, is with his fastball, not just the hard sink, but more velocity to it. The last was at 91.
That is a fair ball. And Stewart with the high throw, but Giambi with the big time ups. And he came down on the bag. Nice play by Jason at first.
Hard play for Stewart, a long throw all the way across the infield. A little smirk and smile out of Giambi's face. Said, yeah, I still can get in the air a little bit. Tough play. Got a backhand, now you've got the long throw all the way across, trying to stay behind it. But Giambi able to go up. Watch how he's concentrating to make sure he catches this baseball right at the end of the webbing of that first baseman's mitt. You might have to save that for Giambi. He's up about 2.5 feet in the air.
Yeah, his teammates will say it was 2 credit cards, but we have evidence that it was more than that.
A lot more than that.
That's played by Jason. 0-1 on Dan Ugla. 4th on the all-time Marlins home run list, with 125 after the bomb in the first game. This guy's Popeye to me, George.
I tell you, this is a Rule 5 draft that the Arizona Diamondbacks let go when Josh Burns went there the first year along with Jerry DiPoto. They didn't feel somebody would take him, and this Marlin team took him, and in the game 1 you can see the damage that he could do, and he did it in a hurry. Second inning, fastball up, got out of the yard about 25 rows, and then this is just a guy every year, 30 home runs, 90 RBIs. Is he a great second baseman? No, but he can make the everyday play.
He's going to drive in more than he's going to give up. Here's the 1-2 on the ground to third. No conventional play for Stewart. And Giambi didn't have to leap. Let's check in with Alana Rizzo. Hey, Alana.
Hey, Drew. Thanks very much. We were talking to Aaron Cook yesterday about his recent slumps so far this season. He said, you know, I've been in slumps before, but every other time it had to do with my mechanics. He said that's exactly not the case this time. It's not mechanics. It's about being more timely. He said that split second that I'm waiting too long to get the ball out of my glove and deliver it to the plate, that's where it's hurting me. And when asked about his weight loss, whether that had been a factor, he kind of joked with us. And he said, I guess so. Last year I was built like an SUV. This year I'm built like a RAV4, so we're making adjustments. So far, so good tonight, guys.
All right, Alana, thanks. And John Baker steps in. And I know he was making light of the weight loss, but in all honesty, George, does that mean anything?
Well, it does. I mean, I think it does. I think you're just you're not comfortable in yourself a little bit because you've lost so much weight. You feel better. You look a little better in the uni, but I think it takes away because of what you say to a lot of pitchers. You know, oh, wait till this kid gains some weight and fills out. You know, he's going to be better off. And I think with Cook, the 20 pounds, obviously it's throwing his timing off a little bit. But, folks, understand something. Aaron Cook in his career is 8-10 in April with a near 5 earned run average. In the rest of his career, 55-42 in the rest of the months baseball is played. So he typically has slow starts in a Rockies uniform. And every year somebody says, you know, something wrong. What's wrong with him? He's not pitching good. He's not right. So, I mean, you know, that's part of it. Since the start of 07, Cook's been very dominant, 35-24 with an earned run average right at 4.
3-0 on John Baker. And that misses, ball 4. That'll bring up Cody Ross. Freddie Gonzalez is the manager. He's a good one. He's well respected in the game. Carlos Tosco is his bench coach. Randy St. Clair has taken over from Mark Wiley as the pitching coach. Jim Presley's the hitting coach. Joey Espada is at third base. Davey Collins back in the game. He's the outfield instructor, coaching first base, former Rockies coach, and that's great to see. Fred Cornelius is out in the bullpen. Ross, to me, George, different position. He's like a miniature Ugla. Built in a similar fashion to Ugla, and he's got pop.
And he's had great success against the Rockies. 20 RBIs in 23 career games versus the Rockies. This is a very good offensive team. You know, it's funny. Everybody said last year, low payroll, bad team, and they won 87 games. They're right in the middle of the hunt all the way to in September.
Last year, Cody Ross had 24 home runs, drove in 90. Year before, 22 home runs, drove in 73. And how many guys outside of South Beach could name Cody Ross?
Not very many. And well, how can many other than Hanley Ramirez and Josh Johnson? How many they talk about?
No, they don't know
because
anybody
they're there.
on the
They say they're not going to be that good of a ball club. They don't draw. Teams don't. You know, when they go down there, you see the East Coast coverage of them. I'm sure people in New York, a couple of those people may know who they are only because they come to the Mets.
Here's some
play there.
George, here's something amazing. 1-2 count on Ross. They win the World Series in 03. Second time they've won the World Series. You know, usually you're going to start on national television the first game of the next year. I mean, that's just standard procedure in Major League Baseball. It didn't happen to the Marlins.
Again, it's a forgotten team down there, and it's much like the Rockies. You know, they were in the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years, and kind of the same type of snub that happens to them with some of the major networks. Well, not because of the way that man manages a baseball team and Jim Tracy.
Cook working ahead of Ross, 1-2. Olivo wants to go away. Pitch is fouled off again. A milestone, significant one, I'm sure, for Cody Ross. In the afternoon affair, that was his 500th career game.
Nice milestone for a young player to get that many ball games in. And guy that you know, does a quality job at both positions, the outfield and at the plate.
Yep. 73 career home runs. See the 264 average, 264 ribbies.
Getting an RBI, but half the time you're playing, you're doing a pretty good job.
Absolutely. Think about that.
Yeah, just think more than that, actually. 264 and 500. So.
Strike 3, Joe West punches out Ross. Actually, more accurately, was Aaron Cook who did the punching out. But Joe West indicated that pitch was in the strike zone. It today. Marlins tomorrow afternoon, again a 3:05 start. As the Rockies will have a morning service for Kelly McGregor, and then the Arizona Diamondbacks come in for 3 ball games. Thursday's the first off day after 16 in a row where the Rockies have played ball games. Obviously last night they were rained out. By the way, last night, as Ian Stewart swings through that offering, last night the first postponement in Major League Baseball this year. You have to go back 25 years the last time the season had gone this deep into April before a postponement. Stewart an RBI in the first game. Two balls, 1 strike. Stewart hitting .278 left on left this year, or 100 points higher than he hit all of 2009 left on left. Good eye, 3-1.
I think sometimes it also creates a problem for the left-handers because of where he positions himself at the plate. Anytime you crowd the plate, it lets them know that you can cover this outside part of the plate. Whoa. Second guy he's nailed. He got Giambi. Now he's going to get Stewart.
Well, that got away big time.
On a 3-1 count, thinking about fastball in. Caught him right in the forearm. 86-mile-an-hour fastball. When the Hyundai cam, as a hitter, you either roll back. A lot of guys, Don Baylor had the art of being hit better than anybody in baseball. Just kind of roll your shoulder and take it off the meat part of the back versus right on that throwing arm, which caught Stewart on his throwing arm right on the bicep.
That, George, as you well know, get that head turned back toward the catcher if in any way possible. Billboard steps in with with nobody out, and Stewart at first. And he takes a strike. Joe West has been a big league umpire for 33 years out of Asheville, North Carolina. You can't tell now, but at one point, Joe was a heck of a college quarterback. The 3-year starter at quarterback at Elon College in North Carolina. The Elon Hall of Fame. Pretty good singer, too.
Does a little bit of everything. There's that slider at 89 miles an hour. Excuse me, at 81 miles an hour. They ran to the middle half of the plate and down.
Bring up Aaron Cook with 1 out. Does his job. He gets the bunt down. Robertson almost tripped, flipping the ball to Cantu. The last time Robertson faced the Rockies as a starter with Detroit at Coors Field, and he had some moments, but the Rockies also had some moments against him. Strike 3 on the inning 1 as we move to inning number 3. Slicing towards the line in left field, and in foul ground, the catch is made by Coghlan. So 1 pitch, and Gonzalez is gone. That's all for the Rockies in the second. 2-0 Colorado. Ken Griffey Jr. becomes the second player to have a candy bar named after him. Unfortunately, the 19-year-old Mariner can't enjoy the confectionery because he's allergic to chocolate. Brett Carroll takes a sinker for a strike.
Yeah, the Reggie bar didn't last long either, by the way.
I remember the Reggie bar. Quite honestly, I don't remember Junior's.
Well, I'll tell you, the Reggie bar did not taste anything like the Baby Ruth. I can tell you, it wasn't very good.
That's a foul ball. Well, Reggie's famous line when he was with the Baltimore Orioles. If I go to New York, they'll name a candy bar after me. He knew how to market himself.
Yeah, there's no question.
Pretty gaudy numbers in the early going for the fourth outfielder, Brett Carroll.
Well, you play your way in, and when some other people struggle a little bit, and Coughlin had struggled, so Carroll got some opportunities, and he's really rewarded his manager. 7 for 17, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs with a couple of home runs.
You know what they finally gave up on? I don't know if that's the right phrase, but Jeremy Hermida, who was a #1 pick, a tremendous high school hitter. They moved him on to Boston in the spring for a young player, for a minor league player. Carroll's gone. That's the second strikeout for Aaron Cook, and that'll bring up Nate Robertson.
Nate Robertson with 1 hit in his career. Did you know that, Doug? You did? Yeah. 1 hit. He's 1 for 23 with 1 RBI. It wasn't a home run. And he has struck out 12 times.
So 1 hit came this year. So he's hot. You just don't want to pitch to him in 2010. Actually, that's not right. It was 2006 he had the hit.
Right.
He doesn't have a hit this year.
No, he didn't have a hit this year. He's 1 for 23 in his career. Spent all that time
George,
in Detroit.
Frazier, he hadn't had a hit in 4 years.
It's not very good.
He hadn't had many opportunities in the last 4 years.
No, he hadn't. I mean, in interleague play, maybe a few there. Not many, but he worked out of the bullpen over Detroit the last couple of years. I think he only had 3 starts in Detroit.
Yeah, last year he was 0 for 2.
See?
08 he was 0 for 4. 6 at bats that year in 06. That was a career high.
A lot more opportunities to finally get a hit. See, manager didn't know what he's doing.
Cleveland, right? That's 3 punch outs in a row for Aaron Cook. Bring up Chris Coughlin. This is what a good job Florida has done with their signing of young players or drafting of young players, the trades they've made. Chris Coughlin, George, is the 3rd rookie of the year for the Marlins in the last 7 years. Not quite a Dodger-esque run like they had in the 90s, but not bad.
Well, there's one guy really you can point a finger to, and that's Stan Meek, your scouting director. He's done a great job. And those guys that he has drafted have come to the big leagues in a hurry, and obviously they've come up and they've performed.
Dontrell Willis, the first in that group, and then, of course, Hanley Ramirez. And then last year, Coughlin. This is out of play.
But, and here's the other thing. Everybody talks about Josh Johnson now, and that's easy to do. But he went in the 4th round for the Marlins that year that he was drafted out. And, of course, I'm close to the situation because I've known Josh and played basketball with my kids in high school. And, you look at that, well, you know what? There was 90 or probably 120 other picks that didn't take it. Through the draft, because he was in the 4th rounds where he finally went. And Stan Meek saw him on a couple of good days, liked what he saw, liked his frame, thought he had an opportunity. Well, obviously, everybody's in a hero situation, and Josh just signed a $39 million 4-year contract to move into that new ballpark.
Mora's got a hustle, and they're not going to get it. It'd be an error on Melvin Mora, and give Coughlin a lot of credit, even though he hit a routine ground ball to second. He busted it up the line.
Well, that's one thing he can do now. He can run a little bit, too. 3 stolen bases. He's yet to be caught. But this is a play that has to be made. Cook gets the ground ball out, just what you're looking for. To Hopper. He's head to the dugout, bobbled. And Coughlin, with the play all out in front of him, a lot of times those left-handed hitters can realize when a ball is bobbled, they got a chance. And he took advantage of it. And this is something that Freddie Gonzalez will do. He'll put guys in motion with 2 outs. He's in the meat of his order. Helms hitting over 400, and Ramirez and Cantu to try to get this runner into scoring position.
The wear and tear on a pitcher, and you have to go out and get an extra out. But even if Aaron's not affected on the scoreboard by this, you know, if it's 4, 6, 7, 8 extra pitches, that means your bullpen, they have to pick up an extra out, 2, 3 outs. You never know.
Exactly. And again, that's what cost you. It's just a matter as a pitcher, you want to try to pick up your guy after the other one.
And it's going to be more than that, because Wes Helms is going to go and serve one to right field. They almost were able to have a play on Coughlin, who took a wide turn at second. And now, George, you have to deal with Hanley Ramirez, one of the best hitters in the game. With 2 men on, you should be in the dugout.
Should be in the dugout, sit down. That's the whole point. I mean, you make pitches to get through things, and by the innings, you could see. In the second, he had a little bit of a hiccup there where he walked the batter, but he was able to get 2 ground balls and a strikeout, and he starts out with 2 punch outs in the third. Aaron second, base hit. Now you're at 12 pitches. 39 on the game, which is obviously a very good number for Cook. Just try to get a ground ball. Typically with Ramirez, if you're throwing a hard sinker down and in from the middle of the plate into him, he's going to pull the baseball. You still want to elevate, give him a chance to elevate a pitch on you.
A comebacker that Aaron turned into that 1-6-3 double play. Take a look at the Amica hit zone. Likes the ball away from him.
Well, he likes to extend. He likes to extend. There's no question about that. You know, if they get any ideas, try to steal a base. It's a bad idea. Oliva was 7 thrown out now. Leads the National League. The next closest, Baker, Blanco, and Blanco, McCann, Soto, and Zahn with 3. Hard sinker in. So you get a guy with a great big swing like that, 91-mile-an-hour hard sinker in underneath the hands. This is the old-fashioned sinker from Aaron Cook that you're used to seeing on the Hyundai cam. Watch the bottom drop out of this thing. Heavy pronation down on the inside of that baseball. And right at the last second, hard sink down under the swing of Mr. Ramirez. This is something surprisingly that Ramirez has struggled so much. 2 outs and runner in scoring position, 1 for 8. Overall, 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position.
Well, he's going to turn those numbers around. You just hope it happens after he leaves town.
No, the average over 300. He is hitting 313.
1-2. Driven 105 last year, which is most RBIs by a National League shortstop since 1974. Edgar Renteria drove in 100 with the Cardinals in 03. Tulowitzki's 3rd on that list with the 99 he drove in his rookie year in 2007. 2 on. There are 2 outs.
Typically, you see the pickoff at second base with Tulowitzki sneaking around, but because of the ability of Ramirez to pull the baseball, Melvin Moore was the guy that made the move into second if a throw would have been made.
Rockies made 12 errors this year. They haven't hit their stride yet defensively. They'll be a good defensive team, but they've been inconsistent so far the first few weeks of this season.
Well, that was the patent to success a year ago. Don't walk people, put the ball in play. We'll catch it, throw them out, and score runs. Worked pretty well.
This should get him out of the inning. 2 are left on, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. The Rockies ahead 2-0. Jack in the box. 2009 combined home runs among middle infield duos. Tulowitzki and Barmes combined for 55. That was matched by the group we see here, Ugla and Hanley Ramirez. Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins combined to hit 52. And Aaron Hill and Marcos Scudero. Scudero's now in Boston, but last year they combined for 48. Dexter had a double his first time up. Would have been a triple, but it hopped over the wall, ground rule double.
It worked out that way. Tried to steal third, he threw it in the outfield, and he could run. He eventually got to third, just he wasn't there very long.
Jim Tracy was asked about Dexter's average, well below 200 earlier today, and he said, I know where it is, and I could care less, he said, because he's hit the ball the last week or so as hard as anybody in our lineup.
Well, you know, I think the one thing, too, that Jim Tracy does a good job of, when guys are struggling and they know in the back of their mind, I mean, they can see the board, they read the paper, they know what they're hitting, and they see that, and then all of a sudden the manager comes out and goes, man, he's scalding the ball. Don't worry about it, he'll be fine. That gives confidence in a subtle way to that batter, that he knows he's going to be in the lineup against lefties, some right-handers, and that you're going to play, and your defense is this and that, and you can steal bases. So that gives confidence back to the player.
And in this case, it's right on, because he has hit the ball hard. There's a lot of out of balls.
By the way, I have something very interesting. Did you think that Nate Robertson was 7th all-time on starts by a left-handed starting pitcher with the history of the Detroit Tigers? Well, think about how long they've been around. Think a lot about how long they've been around.
Yeah. No,
Lolich is number 1 at 459. Hal Newhouser's in the Hall of Fame, 373. But Earl Whitehead, Tanana. Frank Tanana's 4th on the list at 243. So, yeah, I mean, he started a lot of games for the Detroit Tigers and was kind of in the middle of their rotation for a long, long time.
The 2 hit batters and now a walk. So Dexter's at first. And Tulowitzki's at the plate. Here's tonight's Colorado Mining Association Power Hit of the Week. First home run of the year Tuesday for Troy Tulowitzki. And it was a no-doubter in Washington at Nationals Park. Did you know that coal accounts for 77% of the electricity generated in the Mountain State region? Coal is abundant, affordable, and increasingly clean in its mined in Colorado. 2-0 on Troy. These two teams, George, both came in 1993, and until the Marlins won the afternoon game 4-1, they played 144 times. Rockies 72 wins, Marlins 72 wins. Isn't that something?
Yeah, that is really something. And you think of a lot of those wins have come in Florida, where the Rockies seem to struggle for so many years, and yet Florida's record in Denver not very good at 45-28. That's where the Rockies hold the record here.
And here's something else. All-time runs scored. Rockies going into the last game. On the 3-1 pitch, Dexter took off. Had outscored the Marlins 740-731. So now it's 741 to 735. A difference of 6 runs over 145 ball games.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And the hit difference, George, is it was 7 before the last game, and I think the Marlins, I think it's down to 4. 4 hit difference in 145 games for these two teams that entered Major League Baseball together in 1993. The Rockies have been to the postseason 3 times, the Marlins twice. The biggest difference, of course, is the Marlins, the 2 years they went, won it all, 97 and 03. There goes Dexter, and again it's fouled off.
Well, you think the managers, they've had 7, the Rockies 5, winning season 6 for the Rockies, 7 for the Florida Marlins. 43 players have played for both teams. 43 players, of course. Tracy Ringlesby gave us a list, and I would agree with a lot of this. Charles Johnson, Craig Colburn, Greg Counsell, Kurt Abbott, Walt Weiss, Juan Pierre, Preston Wilson, Todd Hollingsworth, and Julian the Presidente Tavares was the pitcher on that. That's an all-star team.
Cody Ross in center field has it 1 out.
There's the all-star team of players to play for both ball clubs.
Well, if you put
span of these two teams.
Colburn, who could really hit coming off the bench. Counsell still applying the craft. Our old friend Walt Weiss played for both the Rockies and Marlins. Juan Pierre.
Let's see if Giambi gets to swing the bat. Drew had mentioned at the start of this thing, 7 for 13 with a home run and 3 RBIs against Nate Robertson in his career.
It's a little more difficult for a catcher to clear himself when you're a big left-handed hitter. In the plate, this is wide with the gap in right center field. Roll, baby, roll. Dexter to third, and he's going to get a green light. This could be a close play at the plate. And Fowler tried to hop over him, and Baker applied the tag. So with a 2-0 lead, and Fowler's great wheels, Richie Dower pressed the envelope there, and Jim Tracy conferring with Joe West.
Well, why not push it? It's a 2-0 ball game, Rockies. The ball's out into the gap. It's got to be 2 perfect throws, catch, and a collision. He does get him, absolutely, right on the leg. He is out. And he's got out in front of it. That's what Baker did. A nice job of getting up the line and forcing Fowler to do something. You either got to go left, right, or run me over or jump over the top of me. And he was able to catch the ball and apply the tag.
Melvin Mora tripled his first time up. Good to see Giambi, who got his first hit on the last road trip, an infield hit, drive that ball to right center field. 8 for 14 now against Nate Robertson. Two and one.
So what, Giambi's had to run an awful lot. First to home, he scored, and then it's a double. Showing off the wheels. He skied for a play.
Pulled foul.
Well, that's not that easy. Now, wait a minute. That's not that. The guy just stood up like snatched it.
There's a glove on the.
I understand that, but I mean, he just stood up and snatched it. Everybody in that section, relax. Just relax. You got a guy who's played a little bit, knows what he's doing. Told you we'd get a ball if we sat out here. You didn't believe me, but I told you. These were good seats. These were great seats. Brought my glove, got a ball. And I was on TV. And if you hold it there long enough, his cell phone will start ringing.
Nice play. 3 and 2. Ball 4. And that'll get Miguel Olivo to the plate. Marlins. Fans, feed your baseball fever at Taco Bell. If Colorado scores 7 or more runs during any game, you know the drill. Go to Taco Bell the next day between 4 and 6. Get 4 tacos with the purchase of a medium drink. That is a steal. 1 order per customer. Rockies have had traffic, heavy traffic, every inning so far against Nate Robertson. 2 walks and 2 hit batters. Olivo takes a strike. Day has moved along, George. It's more pleasant now than at any point even during the first ball game. Heavy clouds and drizzle gets the players inside for batting practice. This ball driven to center field and deep. Ross going back, and this one is gone. 3-run jack, Miguel Olivo. 5-0 Colorado. When he hits it, they stay hit.
Well, he definitely likes the fastball, and he likes the middle half end. He doesn't like the ball away from him. Let's see what his pitch is. Did it get a center cut? They wanted to go away. That ball dove down and in on Miguel, and he just took it right back up the middle. Not a lot of lower body strength, a lot of upper strength and power.
And that is a milestone home run for Miguel. His 100th in his career.
Now, one that can't be retrieved, too. A lot of them that are hit into the seats with fans can't be. This one can be. This may have to have a net to get it.
And he's the 64th catcher all time, George, to produce 100 or more home runs. Congratulations to Miguel Olivo.
Let's look on the Hyundai cam. Watch the swing as it comes in. See how that ball cut to the inside? I mean, you talk about fun. That young man's eyes lit up on that heater.
He now has, George, 100 home runs, 100 walks in his career.
Man,
that is unusual.
They were wondering whether he would get to the walks before he got to the home runs or vice versa, and he got to the walks the other day in Washington.
full now on Ian Stewart.
On the breaking ball and the fastball, Nate Robinson just watching from this perspective, running away from his arm a lot. Getting too quick, the arm's dragging through, and unfortunately he's keeping the ball up. Another walk, he's 30 in. Stewart's been hit, and he's been walked in the game. 61 total now, or 60 in the ball game, 20 in the first, 30 in this third, where he's had a ton of trouble.
Freddie Gonzalez, it's a wee bit concerned. 5-0, his club's down. Spilborgh's at the plate, struck out looking. In fact, Ryan didn't swing the bat his first time up. Freddie's got somebody up. We'll get a number for you in a moment. It's Clay Hensley, their long man. Rockies are familiar with him from the San Diego days. Swing by Spilborgh, 0-2.
And the only bad thing about being the long guy in between a doubleheader, you're starving and you know you just can't eat a lot. Because if the starter, for whatever reason, as good as Nate's gone, 2-0, 216 earned run average, the whole deal, and you're thinking in your mind, oh, he's pitched really good. I'm going to go in here and nail about 3 bologna sandwiches, 2 bags of chips, and a bowl of chili, and I'll just take a little nap in the first 2. And the next thing you know, you're up.
And Spilborghs is called out on strikes again. Miguel Olivo, the man of the moment. 2 men aboard. Olivo took that low heater and drove it out of the ballpark to dead center field. 100th career.
Two straight games with the hit. We've made so much about his 21-game hit streak that he's had so far. His longest previous hit streak, well, that was 13 games. And if you look back at the Marlin who had the longest, well, Kevin Millar had a 25-game run in 2002. Now, the club record, though, is held by Luis Castillo, who had a 35-game streak during the 2002 season. So the Rockies are going to try to put an end to that here and try to make sure that Jorge does not get hit number 22, guys.
All right, a lot of the difference for me, I mean, this is a great run by Cantu because he's not going to get any leg hits. Luis Castillo, who's still applying his craft and doing a very nice job for the New York Mets, is a switch hitter who runs well. So he's going to get his fair share of infield hits. That's that 35-game run. And anytime you're anywhere near 30, that is some kind of hit streak. Here's the 0-2. And it's in the dirt, 1-2.
That's kind of the challenge within the challenge of just winning the baseball game. But people know and they notice. You read the notes as a starting pitcher. I'm sure Aaron Cook understands that. He'd like to be the guy to slam it shut.
I got a trivia question, George, that's not sold, just between you and me. How many
fans can't play at home?
Oh, they can play at home. How many 30-game, but they have to shout really loud because we're not going to hear them otherwise. How many 30-game hit streaks were there in Major League Baseball in 2009? I will tell you this. There were 10 20-game hit streaks. Ground ball to second.
I think it was very good. This isn't a carryover for 20.
That is a carryover. But within the...
So if he gets 30 now, if he gets to 30, you're going to give him credit?
No, I'm not giving him credit. I'm going to give him a bunch of attaboys, but just within the confines of the 162-game schedule.
I'm going to say the guy in Minnesota, Joe Mauer, may have had one. Just throwing it out there the way he hits.
You don't have to name the guys.
Yeah. I'm just guessing.
Oh, yes, yeah. Mauer would be a good guess. You're right.
He doesn't get a lot of leg hits. He gets a lot of line drive hits.
Oh, boy, can he hit? Here's Dan Ugla. Ground ball to third his first time. Ball 1.
All right, who are they?
Well, how many? Just give me a number. How many guys?
Oh, how many?
Yeah.
3.
That's a great guess. 1.
Maybe 2. One.
That's it. Ryan Zimmerman, the guy we just saw.
Yeah. 30
games on the button, not 32. 30 games. That's how rare they are. And this is play for Tulowitzki. Two outs. That'll bring up John Baker. Time for the Breaks Plus. Take a break poll of the game. What do we have tonight? Text your answers as always to 95323. Do you think it should be called a fair poll or what it has always been known as the foul poll? Text rocks 1 for fair. The glass is half full. For foul, the glass is half empty. Well, if it hits the foul pole, it's a fair ball. So logically, you'd say it's the fair pole. But it's not called that. Baker hits a floater to short. Another strong inning for Aaron Cook. Quietly, George, he has pitched exceptionally well through 4 innings. 5-0. AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, a better 3G experience. By Breaks Plus, a whole lot more. And by Colorado Hyundai. Hyundai was just named the most efficient car maker in America. Visit your Colorado Hyundai dealers today. Rockies trying to earn a split. Nice shot. Lost the opener 4-1, but they're up 5-0 here in the nightcap. See, that's something out of our childhood, George. A twilight doubleheader.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
2 for the price of 1.
Punch down the line, stay fair for Cookie. It did not. 0-2 on Aaron. Leading off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cook had a sack bonus first time. I remember going to a New York Met Pittsburgh Pirate twilight doubleheader with my dad, George. I was probably 5 or 6 years old, late 60s. And there was a ton of runs, and I was up really late, and I was really happy about it.
Because obviously the Mets must have been the team scoring a lot of runs.
You know what? To me, it was
the
like
Pirate teams was good back then.
Oh, yeah. Stargell, Clemente, Manny Sanguillen. One of the first catchers, George, at least that I remember, they could run.
He could run, throw from his knees, too. He was one of the first that I saw just drop to a knee and fire.
One and 2 on Cook. This ball's hit pretty well to center field, but it's played. Ross makes the catch, 1 gone.
Well, let me remind all the fans about the Colorado Rockies dugout stores. They're ready for the 2010 season as one of the one-stop shop for Rockies fans. Get all of it at your local dugout stores. You can do that from tickets to clothes to exclusive gifts with purchase and ticket promotions. The dugout stores are the place for all things Rockies. 303-832-TEAM for more store locations. Find out where you could go and get whatever you need for the Rockies.
This is chopped to second, and Ugla has to move quickly, and he gets Carlos Gonzalez. So Gonzalez is 0 for 3. And that'll bring up Dexter Fowler, a double and a walk.
Position players either really like a doubleheader or they really don't like the doubleheader. Depends on if you get 12 at bats and you go for 12 at the top of the order, or if you get 8 at bats and get 4 hits and you're like, yahoo. You
get yourself in a slump in one night.
In a hurry, and you know what? You can really build up your RBI totals in a hurry too. Get a couple of big swings like Olivo, get 3 RBIs, and turn around and maybe get another at bat, drive in a few more.
2-0 on Dexter.
Zach Davis, the man. The Mets won again 3-1. Former number 1 draft pick, 16th pick, I believe, overall by the Mets out of Arizona State University. First home run yesterday. They beat Atlanta 3-1. Dodgers over Washington 4-3. The hottest team in all of baseball, the San Diego Padres. That's 8 straight, Doug. Shutout today of the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati.
That was Wade LeBlanc who was on the hill for them today. 8 in a row for the Padres. Hard to get a shutout in Cincinnati. 2-2 it remains on Dexter Fowler. Remember how hot Jeff Francoeur was? Well, speaking of getting a lot of at-bats in one day in that 20-inning ball game, he said he was trying to end the game with a home run. It fouled up his swing. He was 0 for 7 that night. It led to an 0 for 24. Angel Hernandez says no swing. So it's 3-2 on Dexter. Repair that chip in your windshield now. Call Safelite Elite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com.
Well, Robertson very unusual. He walked 4 in his last start when he beat the Philadelphia Phillies, going 6 in the 3rd innings. He didn't give up a run in the game. Here he's walked 4 and hit 2.
Outside, ball 1 on Tulowitzki. Jim Tracy a few days ago was saying he's going to have to find a day for Tulowitzki to get some time off. Tulowitzki kind of cruised by Tracy's office after the ball game was canceled yesterday and said, "Skip, there's my day off."
Well, he's hitting 282. I mean, this is a kid that's hitting the ball well, swinging the bat, playing well defensively. He wants to stay in that lineup. You appreciate and understand that.
Yeah, he wants that pitch back. You can tell by his reaction. That pitch was up high and a ball that was hanging.
It's not an upright stance that he has, and a little toe tap and a high pitch. There's not a lot of velocity. It was a slider at 80. It makes it pretty inviting. It was amazing. You watch managers sometimes, just glance down at Tracy. Foul ball into the seats. What's the other team doing? What's everybody else doing? They're watching the foul ball. He's giving signs immediately down to Richie Dower, because that way Freddie Gonzalez obviously is not in that attention.
Dexter's going, and this is roped to left. Fowler easily into third. Troy with his first knock in game number 2, his third knock of the day, and Robertson again dealing with traffic, and Giambi will be coming up. And he has had a dickens of a time in his career trying to retire Jason Giambi.
Yeah, 8 for 15 or 8 for 14 right now. He hit him once. He's given up a double. Randy St. Clair, who was a long-time pitching coach in Montreal, and then when Washington went there, he went along with the ball club. Was hired by this club to come in and replace Mark Wiley as the pitching coach.
So here we go. Giambi roped a double to right center his last time. Takes inside ball 1. Two and 0.
Nope. Joe called a low fastball.
Called it a strike. You're right. 1-1. He's got to do it a little quicker. He's the one who wants the games moving quicker, right?
He does that. Well, he's a little disappointed in the Yankee game. Went 3 hours and 45 minutes. I've discussed that over and over again. Here's a ball that just got in on the hands of enough on Giambi. Ramirez is going to take it.
The Rockies had a hit and a walk lead 2 on. They're up 5-0 after 4. The ball to deep right center field, a triple. Giambi, who was aboard, scored. And then with 2 men aboard, Miguel Olivo, his 100th career home run, his 4th this year. And it's 5-0. Aaron Cook cruising along, and first pitch swinging's Cody Ross, and he's gone. That game recap again brought to you by our friends at Land Rover.
Well, the 5 straight innings that he has gone out to pitch, Aaron Cook has had the ability to retire the leadoff man. That really shortens things up for you as a pitcher. You talk an awful lot about it, even though it's a 5-0 ball game. You still want to retire the lead man and prevent the opposing manager in the middle of this ball game to try to expand and do things. How about this? Aaron Cook, 54 pitches, 38 of those strikes. Through 4 1/3 innings, he's thrown 16 total balls.
It's a curveball that's a little bit high on Brett Carroll, who struck out back at the 3rd inning. Been 2 hits, the same guy has him, Wes Helms. Bouncing ball up the middle and kind of a punch, soft line drive single to right. Wade Robertson, despite the deficit, is on deck. 2 balls and a strike. Boy, that's a good sinker right there, isn't it, George?
Hard sinker. You're looking out and the pitch appears it's going to be in the sweet part of the bat. You even try to clear your front side to get to it. And so far, the Florida Marlins have done just exactly what Aaron Cook wants them to do, and that is roll over the top of it. Big holes up the middle. Everything else is pretty pinched in the infield on the left side, particularly with Tulowitzki and Stewart. They try to cut down the hole on the left side to make that play.
Tulowitzki gets a nice hop, fastball to first, and that is out number 2. Let's check in with Alana Rizzo. Alana, what are you up to?
All right, this is hard-hitting journalism right here, Drew and George. I just got a Chicago dog from Extreme, but here it is. This is the good stuff. The National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, they predict that they're going to sell 21,378,064 hot dogs now. That's enough to round the bases nearly 30,000 times. If laid end to end, they would stretch from Cooperstown, New York to Coors Field with enough left over to give a hot dog to every fan at every Rockies home game for the 2010 season. That's hard hitting and very filling.
What I want to know is how they get the estimate, the exactitude of that estimate. I mean, it's down. It wasn't like
it's down to
2,150,000.
21,378,064. Not 65, not 60, 64.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
And Frazier's going to eat a good portion of those.
Nope.
Come on, Frazier.
Nope.
Lots of mayonnaise.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
This guy needs a bib. But that's a good-looking dog. He's got a little sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut on my dogs. The kid's got dad beat. He's got the dog 3/4 done. And mom's ahead of everybody. And he's eating pizza. Black sheep of the family, George.
Great day at the yard, huh?
Yeah. 2-1 on Nate Robertson. And a ground ball to Melvin Moore. Ground ball. Aaron Cook safely through 5 innings of baseball. And his club has a 5-0 lead. He's retired 7 in a row. home run from Miguel Olivo, highlighting the scoring for the Rockies. Time for our Xcel Energy fun fact. Yesterday was the first rain out of the season, 19 days in. It is the longest such streak to start a season since 1985, when the first rain out came, believe it or not, on May 20th, 43 days into the season. And that's Major League Baseball wide. That's not just in Colorado. Obviously, they weren't playing Major League Baseball in Colorado in 1985. Also, did you know that you can sign up for an in-home energy audit and learn simple ways to save around your house with Xcel Energy? Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. The Change on the Hill, brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. And Clay Hensley here in the 5th inning will make his 6th appearance. He's the long man. He'll replace Nate Robertson.
And he's done a nice job doing that. Just fire strikes. His job now, he's going to run at 88-91. But his job right now is maintain a 5-0 ball game till your turn comes up again at the plate and let your offense have an opportunity. You want to turn a 5-0 game into a 9-0 game.
Four-pitch mix for Hensley.
He doesn't blow anybody away. I mean, he's not going to run it up 94, 95, but he will sink. He will cut it. 12-6 curveball, slider to go along with it.
On the swing, Mora's gone. Now Miguel Olivo coming up. Fly ball right field. And a 3-run home run. Jim Tracy making sure that Melvin Mora doesn't get himself run out of the ball game by Joe West.
Well, again, this is what you're looking for as an umpire. Let's see where the swing is. Did he come all the way around on it? Did he break the hands? It was a bad pitch out of the strike zone. He tried to hold up on it. Appears to then he did. Now, in the sky cam, remember, they're looking at this right here. Did he go beyond that area? And obviously, it looks like he did.
Yeah, it's a good call. 1-0 on Miguel Olivo. Time for our Coors Light cold, hard blast. That's what this was in the 3rd inning. Miguel Olivo to dead center field. Headed to the fountains. That's our Coors Light cold, hard blast. Olivo, career home run number 100, his 4th of the year. Iannetta has a couple, so the Rockies backstops, as we thought during spring training, are going to hit a bunch of home runs. They have 6 already. And that's a hard smash to Wes Helms. Two outs. Ian Stewart will come up. Indians beat Oakland today 6-1. I think that's Fausto Carmona, George. He's bounced back nicely, hasn't he?
He really has. He has some difficulty with the arm and didn't come around, couldn't throw strikes, had to spend some time in the bullpen, but he's come back as a starter. Been very dominant.
Stewart hit by a pitch and a walk. Tampa's awfully good again, huh? 9-3. Changeup. 2-0. Dodgers win in 13 today, 4-3. Manny Ramirez, if you missed it, with that calf injury on the disabled list for the Dodgers. 3-0. Padres have won 8 in a row. We were discussing that last inning. Wade LeBlanc throwing up the zeros today for San Diego. And a 4-pitch walk to Stewart. That'll bring up scoreboards. Spielborg's the only guy who scuffled with Nate Robertson. He was caught looking twice. outfield and infield straight up for Spilborghs. 2-0.
A lot of teams starting to throw more breaking balls early counts to him versus giving him an opportunity to swing at a fastball.
This is just the second homestand of the year for the Rockies. They went 4-2 on their first homestand. And this is a pretty short one also, just a 6-gamer. Out of the University of California, Santa Barbara. Ryan Spilborghs. That's his hometown, Santa Barbara. Two and two. Wild. Since Jim Tracy took over in late May of last year, the Rockies, George, have not had a losing homestand.
That's very impressive.
Yeah. And they started out 7-13 last year at Coors Field, finished up with 51 wins. Second best mark at home in the National League to the Giants. And when you add them up at the end of 2010, guess what? I bet you they have a similar record. 3-2, and now Stewart will be moving. 2 in the first for the Rockies, and then 3 in the third on the Olivo blast. Swinging strikeout for Spilborghs. Clay Hensley struck out 2 in his first inning of work. 5-0 Colorado as we move to the 6th. For Stewart's a little bit high, no problem. Jason Giambi climbing the ladder to pull this one down and landing on the bag. The Home Depot doing more on defense. Aaron Cook has been doing a lot on the mound. He's getting ground ball after ground ball for the most part. He's retired 7 in a row, 2 easy singles is all he has relinquished. This has easily been his best outing of the year. He scuffled through his first 3 starts. 0-2 with a 7.53 ERA coming in. But that is not unusual for Aaron. He usually gets off to slow starts in April and then turns things around.
Well, I mentioned this earlier, and it's worth mentioning again. 8-10 with a 4.75 earned run average in his career in the month of April. The rest of those months, 55 and 42. Well, it's been no different in 010. 0-2, 753 earned run average. Trying to go 7 games over 500 in his career at Coors Field. 31-27. This ball will get into center field for a base hit.
So Chris Coughlin aboard.
So just out of the reach of Tulowitzki, just barely. Actually did get a little leather right there at the very end. Nice effort by Tulowitzki.
I'll bring up Wes Helms. He has the other 2 hits in the ball game for Florida. Wes has always been a solid offensive player. He's also a candidate to hit into a double play. He's run that well. Strike 1.
Well, the first 10,000 through the gates on Sunday, April the 25th, will receive a Colorado Rockies baseball cap, courtesy of Wells Fargo. That's right. It's cap day at the ballpark. Always a fan favorite. Purchase your tickets to that ball game at the Marlins. That's the game tomorrow. Rockies ticket outlets or go online at coloradorockies.com to get your Wells Fargo hat. By the way, Drew, I'm glad you brought the heater.
Necessary tonight. That's in there, 1-2.
On the 4th strike zone, you'll get a shot at this pitch with its velocity and where it was located in the bottom half at 88 miles an hour. Again, very good sinker.
Two on Wes Helms. And another hit.
He really does a nice job. Kids at home, I mean, at a 2-strike count, a lot of times hitters want to try to do too much, overswing a little bit. And if you watch his swing, how he just really, and hopefully we'll be able to stop this thing. Watch his hands, folks, as he gets this right at contact. Look how his hands are inside, close to the body, and he just takes everything to the right side of the infield. Didn't try to do too much with it. It took advantage of the hole on the right side after the base hit by Coughlin.
And for the second time in the ballgame, Hanley Ramirez comes up with 2 men on. Grounded the second in this situation in the 3rd. 0 for 2.
They hit into a double play back in the 1st. With the runners at first on a ground ball back to Aaron Cook.
He had big numbers against Aaron Cook coming in, 6 for 12 lifetime, including a home run. And a hard ground ball. Giambi knocks it down, and the first in time. Aaron Cook got over there. Ramirez, who can really run, was out by a smidgen. And that's a big play. 1 out. Runners at second and third. George, that's close to a bases loaded, nobody out situation.
It is very close. And after this ball, because Giambi has interfered with his vision a little bit on Wes Helms, and the snap throw over. Let's look on the Hyundai cam one more time how close this really was. Angel Hernandez, the first base umpire. That was close. Glad to see it go the Rockies' way.
So now it's Jorge Cantu, who's 0 for 2. ball to third and a ground ball to second for Cantu out of McAllen, Texas.
Well, when you have a hard sinker like Cook has, not to fall in love with the curveball, but to show it first pitch, and that's what he just did at 76, a slow curveball. That'll help set up the sinker for the outs later on in this.
Let's take a look at the Amica hit zone on Jorge Cantu.
Well, again, this is a guy with tremendous power, but he's a guy that likes to extend. You can see out here in this area how he likes to get his hands in the upper half of the strike zone and drive the baseball. He'll also, down below, and you really don't know how many at-bats that is, 297 average with 4 home runs in 2010. The ball down the middle in the center cut part of the plate down. Well, that meaning down at 600 marks at the knees or below.
0-2 on Cantu. Inside. For each Colorado hit from now through the end of the year, Amica Insurance will donate $10 to the Boys and Girls Club of Denver. We thank you, Amica. Cantu had a hit and an RBI in the first 10 games of the year, which established a new major league record to start a season. The old record was 8 straight, like George Kelly back in 1921 with the Giants. On the ground is short. Tulowitzki charges. And a run will come home. Cantu has his 20th RBI of the year. But he still is without a hit. Flores on the left side. Matt Daly on the right side. Dan Uggla. Dan Uggla makes a fair amount of money, and there was talk that the Marlins, year in and year out, have a rather low payroll, would move Uggla in the offseason. That didn't happen, and this ball's on one hop to Tulowitzki. In the inning, there were a couple of hits in the first run of the ball game for Florida against Aaron Cook. It's a 5-1 ball game. Middle of Cam. Here's a throw to the plate, and John Baker, as he caught it, reached up and tagged Dexter Fowler, who was trying to be Skeets Nehemiah. Dexter was out at the plate on that double by Giambi. But it was a pretty picture, that Frost Brewed picture. Our Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Can. Aaron Cook will lead it off against Clay Hensley in the 6th inning. Cook a sacrifice and a fly ball to center field. 5-1 Rockies. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Alana Rizzo. Jorge De La Rosa will go for the Rockies tomorrow. Jorge's 2-1. Chris Volstad will go for Florida. Volstad's 1-1. Big right-hander. Two 2-0. Hensley's fallen behind Cook.
And obviously, you get a gift where you have pitchers leading off an inning. You want to obviously try to get that out. They're not most of them are hitters. They're decent hitters, but they're not accomplished hitters like the everyday players. So you want to take advantage of the opportunity.
And see, George, you spoke too soon.
I like it. Throwing the slider, and he busted it to right field. Wow, is Ugla hurt?
Oh, Dan Ugla laid out. Now he's rolling around.
Pretty tough guy, though. He's not going to just kind of walk it off. He probably got a little bit of a strain in his rib, maybe, when he dove for that baseball.
He may knock the wind out of himself also.
Right off the end of the bat, he's going to try to sprint as far as he can and just lays out. See, it looked like he immediately kind of grabbed his side right above the hip bone. Watch, see where that right arm will just, well, he's going to dive right here, and then when he does, he just kind of rolls over and immediately grabs his side.
Cook the leadoff single. Let's take a look at our AT&T trivia questions. Carlos Gonzalez is coming up. He's the only player in the park tonight to have played for both Colorado and Florida. Talked about the many connections between these two teams. Charles Johnson, Preston Wilson, Walt Weiss, Craig Counsell. Carr goes 0 for 3 in this ball game, and he was 0 for 4 in the 4-1 loss earlier today. And he takes a strike.
You know, you forget about this. Kevin Brown, part of that World Series team. Gonzalez, Luis Gonzalez, played left field on that Florida team. Later on, Brad Penny was a part of that team in 03 that went on. Josh Beckett in that starting rotation. I mean, every year they've always had a couple of guys that they could rely on at the top of that rotation. Both times they got in as wild card teams that went on to win the World Series.
The 03 team. Jack McKeon took over.
Oldest manager to win a World Series, right? Wasn't he 74, 75, Doug?
This is popped up, shallow left field. Cogman coming on. Now that'll bring up Dexter Fowler. Dexter a double and a pair of walks. His first 3 at-bats came from the right side of the plate against Nate Robertson. Now step in from the left side. Rockies were 2-4 last year against the Marlins. First time since 2004 that they lost the season series to the Fish.
By the way, Jack McKeon was 72 years old when they won the World Series, and he was the oldest manager to ever win a World Series. Still works for the organization.
Casey McKeon, who worked for many years for the Rockies as a special assistant to Dan O'Dowd, moved to the Washington Nationals this past offseason.
Player procurement.
Fans, if you'd like to receive notification when Colorado scores 7 or more runs for the Feed Your Fever Taco Bell offer, text the keyword taco to 95323. 2-1. Rockies won out a shutout. today, obviously, with Florida scoring last inning. The reason I mention that is coming into tonight, the Rockies with 3 shutouts already in the month of April, tied with the Giants for the top mark in Major League Baseball. And it is particularly mentionable because those 3 shutouts, George, in the first 3 weeks of the season, there's Ubaldo, he's been part of 2 of them. Already more than in 5 other full seasons for the Rockies. In 1993, they didn't have 1 shutout their inaugural season. 95, 99, 2000, and 2004. They didn't reach 3 shutouts. The Rockies and the Giants with 3 each.
I got a feeling that number's going to climb when that guy takes the hill.
Yeah, it's funny. It's amazing. This ball's roped up the middle for Dexter. 2 on with 1 out. It's amazing. It's like they used to say about Gibson, George. He's the luckiest pitcher you ever saw. He always pitched on the days the other team didn't score. That's an old Tim McCarver line.
1.112 earned run average. That's because Tim McCarver caught all those shutouts.
Yeah, 1.12 in 1968. Is that something else? And right now, that guy there, Ubaldo, has an 0.95 ERA through 4 ball games.
Him and Tim Lincecum both, Lincecum with a 1.00. He's back up to his old habits. Back-to-back Cy Young awards. It'll be interesting this year on the Cy Young. I mean, you got a young upstart like Ubaldo. Hopefully things continue to go for him. You have Roy Halladay and, of course, Lincecum.
All 3 of those guys are off to gorgeous beginnings. Halladay in a new league. And this ball has popped up and
lost it. You can see Hensley's running.
Baker is standing around home plate. Tulowitzki wasn't going to help, but he was back about 8 rows.
Well, Hensley noticed that he did not see it, and Hensley sprinted off the mound all the way to the screen.
Looking at Hensley's glove with just a quick glance, it looks like he's got usually pitchers 11.5-inch models.
I always used a 12, to be honest, 12 and a half. I used a big glove.
Use a big glove?
Absolutely.
Because he's using a big glove.
Absolutely. Greg Maddux probably used one of the biggest A2000s ever built because he wanted to open it up wide so you don't see the hand, and when it rotates and moves inside the glove, if you change the grip for a pitch, hitters a lot of times will look to see if your hands move inside the glove. And sometimes they pick up the fact that moves on a slider, doesn't move on a curveball, those kind of things that they look for.
Guys are taught, George, correct me if I'm wrong, that if you do that, then do it on every pitch, even if you're not.
Normally do, yeah. A lot of guys, that's what it is. A lot of guys will do that. They'll adjust on every pitch and just try to throw things off a little bit. Some guys that throw the split finger want to spread out to a circle, want a big glove.
0-2. And Tulo drives this ball to center field. Long run for Ross. He won't get there. Cook will score. Here comes Dexter right behind him. And it will be a 2-run double. Tulowitzki head first slide into third on the throw. Troy Tulowitzki makes it 7-1. Tomorrow, a good day to go to Taco Bell. Colorado with 7 runs. Go between 4 and 6 tomorrow. Get 4 tacos for $1. Tulowitzki, RBIs 9 and 10. On the season.
They're going to walk Giambi. They're not going to let that left-handed bat drive in another run. Here it is on the 4th strike zone. Breaking ball 78, driven out of the reach of Cody Ross. And Hanley Ramirez got this throw on the relay. He just fired it, and it kind of went to Nowheresville. That allowed Tulowitzki to get to third. And then it's just kind of off to the races. Cook's going to be able to score. Dexter right behind him, and a thrower on a skip. So Tulowitzki read it perfectly.
Giambi's going to come out of the ball game. Greg Smith is going to pinch run for him. Greg started in the first ball game. Giambi On base 3 times, George. Double in the 3rd inning. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st and scored a run. Rockies have used Greg Smith to pinch run one other time. Todd Helton stretching. It does not have to be Helton, folks. You're going, well, it's got to be Todd to go in to play first. The Rockies could put Melvin Mora at first and bring in Clint Barmas into the ball game. And with a 6-run lead, that may be what happens, because Jim Tracy, when he gives Todd a game off, if at all possible, likes to give him the whole game off.
He does like that. There's no question about it.
0-2 on Mora. Mora got some work at first base during spring training. This is bounced to 3rd. Well, turn 2. That's a pretty good turn right there. Dan Uggla around the bag. Wes Helms had the good feet. 5-4-3 around the horn, but the Rockies scored 2 more runs. Tulowitzki, a 2-run double, 7-1. Unloaded a triple to the right center field gap. Jason Giambi all the way from first scored in the 3rd inning with 2 aboard. Miguel Oliva trotted around the bases, his 4th home run of the year, career home run number 100. In the 6th inning, Troy Tulowitzki stayed back on the breaking ball, and he drove a double to left center field. 2 runs would score, Aaron Cook and Dexter Fowler. You get the picture, it's been all Rockies. Aaron Cook's been outstanding on the hill, and it is Todd Helton coming into the ball game defensively. And even up switch with Jason Giambi after Greg Smith pinch ran for Giambi. That look back brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. They're on Broadway in Littleton. John Baker at the plate, and that pitch at the knees for a strike.
12 ground ball outs for Aaron Cook going into the 7th inning and just 78 total pitches. This is
the eye level.
This is the Aaron Cook of May, June, July, and August.
I think everybody panics when when a guy like Cook has a couple of subpar outings. I think everybody panics except that guy. He doesn't panic.
No, he doesn't panic, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And the list is long, but he has experienced bad Aprils and then rebounded to have tremendous the rest of the year.
Plus, he has a reservoir, a deep reservoir, George, of outstanding starts to look back upon and know, hey, I know I can get this done. And I'm not going to worry about it.
Didn't get this many years in the big leagues by mistake.
No. Ground ball to third. Nice soft hands. Stewart. Helton, even though he took the first part of the evening off, George, he could still catch at first, huh?
Amazing. Yeah, that works. Probably went up and played a little catch. Get warm back up again.
Yeah. One out, Cody Ross coming up. Our AT&T trivia question and answer. Who's the only player in tonight's game to have played for both Colorado and Florida? And he has caught a no-hitter for each club. Miguel Olivo caught Anibal Sanchez's no-hitter. And Ubaldo Jimenez's no-hitter. He was a good sinker. He was with the Marlins in 06 and 07. With 249 with Florida, 32 home runs, 118 RBIs in those 2 seasons. And I know we have a feature coming up on Olivo, talking about his no-hitters. Anibal Sanchez, kind enough to come by and chat with us about his no-hitter. Of course, Ubaldo Jimenez as well. 2 outs, 2 ground ball outs. Brett Carroll will approach. Let's take a look at today's Quest high-speed pitch. Nate Robertson lasted only 4 innings. He touched 90. Aaron Cook's hit 92. That's brought to you by Quest, the high-speed internet provider of the Colorado Rockies. When Aaron Cook's doing his thing, as he is tonight, he puts the comfortable collar on you.
Yes, he does. Well, the thing is, you look up and you go, 2.5 hours, we're in the 8th inning. Oh, 7. We're going to beat 7-0? 7-1? Yeah, what happened?
And the pitch count, George, I mean, 84. And the troubling thing for Aaron and you know, for Rockies fans, his first 3 starts, I mean, he had 84 pitches in the 3rd, 4th inning. He was having trouble throwing strikes. Not tonight. That is Tim Wood. We have a John Wood on our crew, but there's no relation, George. Tim throws a lot harder than John does.
Well, he runs the rowboats. One of the rowboats. Speedy runs the other. He runs those. Say hi, Woody. See, there he is saying hi. No, he said, I'm not going to say. There he is. He's saying hi.
Well trained, isn't he?
Yes.
This is a pop fly to Melvin Mora. How good is that in? Aaron Cook, a quick 7th inning. Stretch time at Coors Field, 7-1 Colorado. is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. By the Courtyard by Marriott on the 16th Street Mall. Call 303-571-1114 and ask about our hometown sports package. And by Colorado Hyundai, get more style, more MPG, and more value at your Colorado Hyundai dealers today. 7-1 Colorado. Tim Wood is the new arm out there for the Marlins. Miguel Olivo will lead things off for Colorado.
6 games to appear in. High earned run average has been beat up a little bit. 9 hits, 4 walks over that span, and 1 home run. First batter faced efficiency, and that's something we talk an awful lot about, just 50% of the time.
Slider and a good one. 7th inning is the Burger King Whopper inning. If Colorado hits a home run during the 7th inning, Burger King will offer a free Whopper with the purchase of a large drink the following day between 4 and 6 at participating restaurants only. Went to the slider again. 1 ball, 1 strike. You know who else went on the disabled list, George, for the Dodgers? Their opening day starter, Vicente Padilla.
That's going to hurt, particularly the way he has thrown of late.
And 4 sliders, and Miguel Olivo is gone. That'll bring up Ian Stewart, who officially hasn't been here today, George. Well, he's been here, but hit by pitch, walk, no throw. Geico quote of the day. Casey Stengel said a lot of things, a lot of funny things. There are 3 things that you can do in a baseball game. You can win, or you can lose, or it can rain. Well, actually 4, Casey. Colorado didn't have baseball back in your day, but it could snow. We could have a power outage, 5 things. That's halted a ball game or 2, hasn't it?
It has.
0-1 on Stewart. 0-2 on Stewart. Stewart and Olivo, the club lead in home runs with 4. Hits it in the air to center field and deep. This one is going to die about a step shy of the warning track.
Well, see, unfortunately, now he's going to show up tomorrow in the box score.
2 outs. Brian Spilbords will step up. Ball is in the air to shallow center field. Ross has it. Tim Wood, a quick inning. 7 innings complete. The Rockies ahead by 6 runs. We'll go to the 8th.
Traditional.
57% say it's good the way it is. Keep calling it the foul call. Mike Lamb off the bench, the former Astro, swings at the first pitch from Aaron Cook, and that is blown out. Well, there's a theory with pinch hitters, George. Jump on that first fastball.
Well, that's what they think. They're going to get that first pitch fastball, and again, Lamb, a very good pinch hitter. Came out with that same thought and hoped that it would work. Unfortunately, ended up in the glove of Ian Stewart.
Repair that chip in your windshield. Do it now. Call Safelite Elite Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. 2-strike count on Chris Coughlin. 1 for 3. And that's a base hit. Ball almost got away, but Aaron Cook paying attention.
Well, as a pitcher should. I mean, you got a lot of lineup here on the throw coming in, what it's going to be, and just get yourself in line to make sure you make the throw, make the ability to get back there. Hey, Coors Field is a great place to buy a suite, rent a suite for the weekend. Party facilities, group picnic areas. They offer unique atmosphere designed to fit any event and any budget. For the ultimate choice in entertainment, ask about the Rock Hinge Super Suite and Conference Center. Find out how you can buy one, get one free offer as well. Other great suite specials by calling 303-312. See ya. Grab some pine. Yep, grab some pine meat. 303-312-2444. Got a suite here at the ballpark.
Cookie's got quick feet, George. We see him do that several times a year.
Well, they work on it. That's part of it. He works on it in between starts to try to have those snap throws over there. Coughlin has 3 stolen bases on the season. Very quick runner, gets picked off, shorten this inning up again a little better.
And that's a long, long walk to the dugout because you're down by 6 runs in the 8th inning. You do not want to get picked off.
No, I mean, you really don't want to anytime, but it's really embarrassing now. I mean, you're just thinking to yourself, why?
2 outs. Helms is 3 for 3 at the plate. He has 3 of the 5 hits.
That's where you have a conversation with David Collins when he comes back in because he handles base running. Goes, you talk to him.
You're Freddie Gonzalez.
Yeah. The manager said, you talk to him.
The problem is David's still out on the field right now.
Well, he said, when you get back in the dugout and he comes back in here, I want you to talk to him. Yeah, never mind. I'll talk to him.
Is a strikeout victim. Aaron Cook turns into another 1-2-3 inning. Cook is pitching to Jam. Rockies up 7-1. Tracy will come your way. It'll happen at 9 o'clock right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. And Jim Tracy and his players will reflect on the week that was, and of course the tragic passing of Rockies president Kelly McGregor. And that is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies the rest of the season will wear a patch honoring Kelly. This is good news. Looks like Aaron Cook's going to have an opportunity to throw a complete game. Dan Myers on the hill now for Florida. Cook leading off here in the bottom of the 8th. Dan Meyer, a converted starting pitcher, and working out of the bullpen. Aaron's pitch count, George, just 94 through 8 innings.
Well, he's had 9 complete games in his career, so why not let him have the 10th? It's a 6-run lead. And obviously, it's been easy sailing for Aaron throughout this ball game.
Well, Cook's thrown out 2 hits today and a sac bunt. How about the Rockies pitching staff? De La Rosa had 3 ribbies the other day in his last start. Ubaldo, when he threw his no-hitter, had an RBI single, bullet up the middle. Greg Smith had a base hit earlier today. He can really swing the bat. Rocky starters helping themselves.
Big numbers here. ERA near 20, 2 1/3 innings, 8 hits, just getting knocked around. 4 walks, a home run, and a 2 1/3 innings. Meyer trying to solidify his spot in the big leagues. Had a pretty good second half a year ago, but has not pitched the ball since he got up here. Line drive to the left side for a color.
And that's his first hit today. I want to point something out. Larry Walker was in town yesterday. By the way, Walker looks great. He's trimmed down. He's 20 pounds less than he's playing. He's down around 230 pounds. And he used to tell us, George, that if he was slumping at all, Cargo's not in a slump, but he was 0 for 7, or 0 for 8 actually before that at bat today. He said, I would prefer to see a lefty come in because it reminded me to keep that front shoulder closed and try to drive the ball the other way, and that's exactly what Carlos Gonzalez did there.
Larry Walker, what a career 318, 319 hitter, hit a lot of things, but he's right about the point you're trying to make. It's just stay in on the left-handers. You're not going to pull off of anything, fade off of anything. And tell yourself not to try to do too much. You know, it's like pitching. When you get mad, you want to throw harder. When you get in a slump as a hitter, you want to swing harder. And then the mechanics go out the window. It's kind of interesting to see Uggla and Cook talking. Remember the last time Uggla played behind him in an all-star game at Yankee Stadium? It wasn't pretty. Unfortunately, then Uggla finally made the last out of that inning.
In there for a strike, 1-1 on Dexter. Dexter's had a nice ball game. 2 for 2, 2 walks, scored a couple runs, has a stolen base. Look out.
Hard slider. Big swing to it. 86 miles an hour. Just didn't find the strike zone.
Two on, nobody out. Rockies up 7-1. They've out hit the Marlins 10-5 here in the nightcap. There's another base hit for Dexter Fowler. Aaron Cook will stop at third, and the bases are loaded for Troy Tulowitzki.
Now, right now, Mr. Meyer can't be feeling too good about it. 3 singles in a row, and the bases are loaded up for a guy that's starting to hit one of those hot streaks. And Tulowitzki, a single and a double. The double drove in 2 to give him 10 RBIs on the season.
Remember earlier we were talking about Dexter Fowler. Just keep going up there and finding the barrel. Jim Tracy said, I'm not in the least bit worried. And there he is. He's looking down at Dexter right now and applauding. He said, he's having great at-bats.
3 hits now, and again, that confidence given to Dexter about it. You know, he's obviously showing his manager, and it's nice to put a smile on his face. For Jim Tracy, I know he's got to be excited about the fact the way he swung the bat and what he's doing. Randy St. Clair is out in a pretty good conversation right now, too, on the mound. He's trying to give some confidence to this young left-hander. I mean, I showed you the numbers. 2 1/3. He's given up 8 hits. We're not 2 1/3, 11 hits. Things have not been pretty. He's had 4 walks over that 2 1/3 time span. Tulowitzki's had a couple of opportunities this year with the bases loaded. He's 1 for 2. The Rockies as a team have hit .250 with nobody out and the bases loaded.
Couple RBIs already in the ball game. 2-run double in the 6th inning. That's low, ball 1 on Troy. Big chance here for the Rockies to just bust this thing wide open. Ball, 1 strike.
Not a great position to be in right now if you're Mark. And the reason I say that, Tulowitzki has hit .479, 21 for 49, 429, excuse me, with the bases loaded, a couple of home runs, and 47 RBIs with the bases loaded. Wow, big numbers.
Meyer's got a pretty good arm. That was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 3 straight singles to greet Meyer here in the bottom of the 8th. Aaron Cook got the first, then Gonzalez, then Fowler. It's popped up, right side. It's going to drift out of play. Two and two. St. Louis and San Francisco, George, during the 7th inning, 0-0 ball game. Wainwright, Zito.
I tell you, Zito's throwing. You expect that out of Wainwright. Zito is throwing a very good ball game. I should say, has thrown well this year.
So is everybody in that rotation.
Yeah, they're starting to see the Zito they gave the money to.
This is a double play ball. There's one. Low throw, and Cantu picked it. The run comes home. It is 8-1. And moving to third base is Gonzalez. That'll bring up Todd Helton for the first time in the ballgame. Todd played all 9 innings in the afternoon affair. Today's game summary is brought to you by Ecotech Institute in Denver, where you can make the world your workplace. 8 runs on 11 hits for the Rockies. Aaron Cook still out there. He's been sensational. The big blow today, Miguel Olivo, 3-run home run, his 100th career big fly. Helton had a couple of hits and a walk in the first ball game.
Nice cover. Ball's cutting about 6 to 8 inches away from the left-hander, and it appears it's going to be inside and down, and it just stays on that plane for a pretty good pitch.
And Todd went around. Rung up by the third base umpire. Corey Blazer. His first Major League Baseball game. Aaron Cook looking for the final 3 outs. Post-game show to follow. Tom Helmer has the details. Tom.
Cookie's ready to go, so I'll make it fast. Cooking 101. Aaron Cook gets back to basics. Great outing. Also, we've got the hit of the century, Miguel Olivo with the big bomb, the 100th of his career. And we'll talk about who's on first, Jason Giambi. Big night tonight. It's all coming up right after the ball game. Drew?
All right, Tom, we'll look forward to that. First, Hanley Ramirez against Aaron Cook. Hanley hasn't gotten it out of the infield. He's 0 for 3, and this is a pop-up that may be playable. In foul ground, it will be. 1 out. All right, short innings for Aaron Cook in this ball game. Jorge Cantu has a 21-game hitting streak on the line. He's 0 for 3. He did drive in a run. The only run of the ball game for Florida with an RBI ground out in the 6th inning. Cantu has hit in all 17 games this year and 4 at the end of last year. 21-game hitting streak, the 5th longest in Marlins history. Aaron has been dominant with the sinker today. In his first 3 starts, George, we saw more full-seam fastballs, breaking balls. Aaron Cook's gone back today to his bread and butter.
He has. He's gone back to the hard sinker. And I mean, it showed some velocity with it. And again, he's been up to 91 miles an hour. He's set 89-90 with big movement straight down.
He's allowed only 5 hits. All singles. He's walked 1 batter. 3 of the hits owned by Wes Helms. Chris Coghlan has the other 2. That's it. They're the first 2 guys in the order, in fact. So 3 through 9. A big bagel. You got to reach this Baker with a walk. Here's the 1-2. That was the 100th pitch of the day.
Well, think about this, though, Drew, when you look at this. 28 balls here in the ninth inning.
That's something, isn't it?
28 balls in the ninth inning.
72% of his pitches have been strikes. So
that's huge.
He has been, his pitching coaches like to say, pounding the strike zone. That's what they want to see with quality strikes. You know he's still got great sink when you see the ball chopped into the ground like that.
23 of 31 first pitch strikes tonight. Talked about retiring that first batter efficiency. That's been very good. Look at the handicap. You're really going to see this ball grind and bite. Now, hopefully we'll be able to come back. I want to show you something on Aaron Cook. When he really throws a really good sinker, how much there's pronation of that inside the baseball to create that sink with velocity. All pitchers pronate a little bit. Good sinker ball pitchers really pronate a lot.
And Jorge Cantu is going to take it over, and the 21-game hitting streak is going to die here in Denver. 2 outs in the ninth inning. Dan Ugla, the last hope to keep it going from Florida. Today's delivery of the game brought to you by Jimmy John's. Third inning, 2-0 ball game, not for long. One swing, and Miguel Olivo makes it 5-0 with his 4th big fly of the year. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Ugla, ground ball to third, ground ball to short, ground ball to short. This has been vintage Aaron Cook today. Fastball's a little too tall, ball 1. Have one complete game this year. Perhaps you remember it was a week ago tonight in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a complete game, and it was a no-no for Ubaldo Jimenez. There's Ubaldo, and he'll be on the top step of the dugout. The first one out to congratulate his teammate and his friend Aaron Cook with one more out. 3-0. There's only 3 teams that have 2 complete games already this year. The Indians, the Yankees, and the Phillies. And of course, the Phillies have the guy who always seems to go the distance now. Out of Arvada West High School, Doc Holliday, Roy Halladay.
Well, a year ago, Toronto led the American League with 10 complete games. He had a whole bunch of them. I believe he had 8 of those complete games.
He's old-fashioned.
Well, he's just smooth and easy. I mean, he goes right at you with that hard sinker, comes back with a curve slider change. He's able to mix pitches up. He pounds the strike zone. He can go away from the right-hander to the corner. He just knows what he's doing out on the mound, big time.
Ugla turns away. It wasn't that bad a pitch. And Ugla will go to first. That'll bring up John Baker, who's walked, popped out, and grounded out.
On the 4th strike zone, you'll be able to see this ball, though. That's a big movement to it at 88 miles an hour down, but unfortunately got away from Aaron Cook. Second walk for Cook in the ball game.
Betancourt. That's pretty smart about this, George, in terms of getting heated up.
Well, guys like he is. Other younger guys sit up there and start firing. You know, they don't really know yet how to warm up for a game, but obviously Betancourt does. Halladay had 9 complete games out of those 10 last year for the Toronto Blue Jays, which led the American League.
Ugla's going to take second as the Rockies are playing behind him. Odd ball 1. (8-1) Rockies. They have out-hit the Marlins 11-5. Lost the first game today 4-1. Baker was trying to hit the 9-run home run. Fouled it off. Haven't seen many of those, have you, George?
Not well. No. Kind of like going to the T-ball game. It depends on which parent goes. Yeah.
2. Pedro Estacio has the most complete games in Rockies history, 14. Next on the list, number 28. He's looking for number 10. Here's the 1-2 to Baker. Popped him up. Shallow center, long run for Fowler. Tulowitzki will go out and make the catch. And that's the ball game. And Aaron Cook, in a wonderful complete game performance, has defeated the Marlins 8-1. His 64th career win, 10th career complete game, his first since May 21st of last year when he blanked the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta 9-0. Great performance for Aaron Cook, his first victory of the year. He is our Granger player of the game. Aaron Cook allowed just 5 hits in the ball game. He struck out 4, he walked only 2, fielded his position as he always does. Threw out a couple of hits on offense also. Our Granger player of the game, Aaron Cook. Granger for the ones who get it done.